Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to another Mage Monday. And for this Mage Monday we'll take a look at Nuwa. Nuwa is a very interesting one. I feel like she's a little bit more late game than early game. She has a very interesting kit. She has a lot of strong things in her kit. You might like her. I'm not a huge fan of her. That's just because she doesn't really suit my preferred playstyle. But maybe you do. Definitely try her out. I recommend trying out any guard. Just to get a good feel. If you know how to play a guard, you know how to counter them and what to look out for. So let's just hop right into her kit by starting off with her passive. So once I get out of the shop, you'll see that I have something above my portrait that kind of indicates how many stacks I have for my passive. Well, what is my passive? I will have 5 stacks total. If I confirm a basic attack, one of the balls on the thing above my portrait will be lit. And once all the 5 orbs or balls are lit, then you'll have a additional effect on your next basic actually. Your next basic will root for 1.5 seconds if it hits. If you miss, so after confirming 5 basic attacks on minions or guards, you'll have the effect. If you miss that basic attack, then the effect will be gone and you'll have to restack your passive to gain that effect once more. And it is a strong, it's a strong passive because even though you can kind of see that she has it ready, if you use it effectively, it can be very powerful to kind of get someone in an awkward position, making sure that they are rooted for a good duration. And as you can see, it is now almost fully stacked up. It is now fully stacked up. And what you see me do a lot in this game, and almost always when I play Nuwa, is try to keep your stacks up to make sure that you can use it on an opponent instead of on a minion. Ooh, nice combination by the Emir actually. Is able to pick up the first blood. Definitely a good combination by my team. A lot of damage and nice axe from the Chuck as well. Will confirm another kill. So, like I said, try to get that stacked up is quite important. Can be very useful, especially if you're against a couple of gods that don't really deal well with it. Like for instance Tyr. Tyr doesn't deal too well with it because he can't, well, it's a CC that he doesn't have any reduction for. And as you can see here, stuck for 1.5 seconds is a decent amount. So, Nuwa's first ability is a fog. You will cast a fog underneath you, and this fog will actually make you and any ally inside the radius invisible while you're not attacking. Once you attack, you're not invisible anymore, but while you're inside the fog, you will be invisible. So that's a very decent effect to it as well. It lasts for 6 seconds, which is a decent amount. It also grants you 10% additional movement speed while you're inside it, which is also not too shabby. It also provides this movement speed bonus. Did I say attack speed? I'm not sure. It is movement speed bonus 10%. It also provides it to your teammates, which is also very helpful. And you can hide your teammates in it. For instance, if, well, here it's a bit obvious, but for instance, when you're going for a gank or something, you can have an entire team hide into the fog while you think it's only, for instance, the Nuwa. So it has a lot of potential. In Assault, it's a bit obvious when someone steps into it, but I guess that's fine. It deals damage on impact. The first hit will deal a good amount of damage, and afterwards, the longer you stay into the fog, you will receive overtime damage as well. So if you're an enemy, don't step into the fog, especially if she has it leveled up a little bit more, because it does do a good amount of damage, and the longer you stay in it, the more damage you'll take. And again, as you see, I'm keeping my passive up. Having that root available is very important. So, the second ability is Clay Soldiers. You will cast minions, and depending on the rank, you'll have a good amount of them or not too many. You have 1 minion at rank 1, which is not too bad. You will have 2 minions at rank 2, and once you max it out at rank 5, you will have the last final additional clay soldier, you'll have 3 of them. So what I usually do is level up my 2 up to rank 2 to get the 1 additional minion, and afterwards I'll level up my 3. So what does the minions do? They will charge at an enemy. The charge is some additional damage. They will also deal basic attacks. The basic attacks scale from 20 damage per hit up to 60 per hit depending on the rank. They have a good amount of health. They have 200 health at base plus an additional 20% of Nua's maximum health. So they can't tank up the tower. They are good for removing the backdoor protections from towers. To tank up the towers, very useful for it. Also, when clay minion charges at an enemy, minion or god, they will reduce their protections by 5 up to a maximum of 25 per charge. And when you have 3 minions, you'll have a maximum of 3 stacks. So you can have a total of, well, at rank 1 you'll only have 5 reduction because it only charges once. But at maximum rank you'll have 3 minions. If they all charge at the same enemy, you'll have their protections reduced by 75, which is a lot. So it is a protection debuff on the target that is being charged by the soldiers. The soldiers act like minions, so they're kind of unpredictable at some moments, and that's something I really don't like about her. But yeah, that is sometimes a little bit difficult to deal with. Because if sometimes you want them to go to the god and they'll go to the minion wave, sometimes you want to have it the other way around. They're just very unpredictable, especially at some moments in the game. Something you need to, well, at least take into consideration. Don't rely on them too much. They will, of course, charge forward when there's nothing else. And they will go for the nearest god if there is nothing else. So they're unpredictable in my opinion. Yeah, that's about covers it for the minions. They also have an additional effect, but that has to do with her 3. Her third ability is called Shining Metal. She will fire out a kind of a long range bolt, as you can see here. Deals damage, goes through anything, gods, minions, etc. But the interesting part about this ability is that you can detonate your own minions with it. Yes, you can detonate your clay soldiers, dealing damage in an area around the clay soldiers, which were detonated, as well as stunning anyone that is inside the range of those clay soldiers. So it's definitely a very powerful tool. The stun will last for 1 second up to a maximum of 1.5 depending on the rank of your Shining Metal. So not because of the rank of your soldiers, but the rank of the Shining Metal. So leveling that one up is something I recommend, because you will get the additional stun duration, as well as it is your main damage source. A very good combination you always want to try and get is the minions into the Shining Metal detonation, hitting them both. Because it is possible to hit only your detonate on the minion, but if you hit the detonate on the minion as well as hit the god with the Shining Metal, that is an insane amount of additional damage. They will be stunned, you will be able to, if they are close enough, confirm your 1 as well. Altogether very powerful combination. Like I said, it also goes through minions, which is not too bad. Very good wave clear, also one of the reasons why you should level it up first. As you can see here, I'm standing inside the fog, can't be seen, and that sometimes can give you a real edge to get away, and it gave me enough time to get out of the Odin cage. I am weakening cursed though, so I'll probably not be able to get out of this one anytime soon, and as you can see I am picked up for that kill. Okay, so the final ability is a quite interesting one. It's also something they call a skill shot. I think the achievement is even called skill shot, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Getting a kill with this ultimate is pretty easy because you can't miss it. It is an ultimate, you will charge up. In this charge up time you'll be CC immune. You will take to the sky, you will be there for a couple of, well, for a brief moment. I'm not entirely sure what the entire duration of it is, but you will be in the sky, not being able to be targeted by anything. It will deal damage on every single one. It will also reveal everyone's location, so that can be very useful in mainly Conquest, but in other game modes as well, to kind of see the positioning of your opponents, as well as making sure that they can't really, well, that you know where they're coming from, which allows you to counter to it. It deals damage to everyone. It applies effects like, for instance, Gem of Isolation. It provides the effects like Soul Reaver, only on the one with the highest HP though. So, but you can activate it from anywhere of the map. It cannot be missed. It can be used from anywhere. It will hit anyone. It is a very, very good, powerful ability. Especially very good at finishing people off or in starting a fight, making sure that everyone on the opponent's side is a little bit lower on HP and, for instance, afflicted by effects like Gem of Isolation, Divine Rune, stuff like that. It will be applied with that ability. So pretty powerful. So you now know every single ability a bit, and you'll probably now also know kinda why I usually try to keep my passive meter at maximum, keep it at the ready, to make sure that I have that basic with the root. Because if you have that basic with the root, you'll be able to root someone. After that, you'll be able to get your clay minions out. This will make sure that they will be able to get to the enemy god, because they're still rooted. They will charge at them, and then you can also easily confirm your Shining Metal, your 3, to get that detonation stun, that additional damage as well as the stun on them. Then you can use your 1 to confirm the damage. You can also turn it around a little bit by using the basic first to root them. Use your 1 immediately with the 2. That way your 1 can travel already, and you will have your 3 to detonate your minions. But like I said, rooting into the minions, into the stun, into the 1 is also a very good combo. And after that you can deal some basics. You can deal some damage with your ultimate if that will finish them off. I don't really recommend using it just on any occasion. Of course it deals damage to everyone, which is very good. For instance, in Assault, when you don't have any healers, it is very powerful. And if you look at it in Arena, for instance, if you use your ultimate just every single time, they'll just back and it's not useful. So in Arena you want to keep it to kind of finish someone off or help finishing someone off with your team. So, interesting kit. Let's head over to her build, or the way I built her this game. I went for the Chronos Pendant for a reason. She relies on mana a lot, like any mage, to deal her damage. She also can use cooldown reduction quite effectively, getting more stuns out, more Shining Metals, more fogs, more everything, more ultimates. So getting more cooldown reduction is always a good thing, but you also want to have power. So that's also why I didn't go for a breastplate. Breastplate is, she kind of needs a lot of power to deal a lot of damage with her abilities, and if you get more power online, of course you will deal more damage in the later stages. That's also why I went for Bancroft's Talon as well as a pair of Pen Boots. Pen Boots are just very good for, to deal the damage. Even though your minions do reduce protections, getting those additional protections while you don't have your minions to charge at your enemy will definitely be very helpful. Also, good amount of power on it. Getting a Bancroft's Talon is very effective one as well. As you can see here, again, going for the detonation on the Sobek. Interesting part, you can actually make sure that you only detonate 1 minion, because detonating multiple minions will not result in more damage, longer stun, or anything like that. So if you're able to detonate only 1 minion, you'll get the full effects and still have the additional damage from the minions you'll have left. One interesting thing about this one, Odin can't be rooted while he's inside his own cage. So if he uses his ultimate, he is immune to that. And that is an important part, because you can't really, root him. Which is something I try to do a lot this game. As you can see, the minions can be killed quite easily. Like I said, 200 health plus 20% of Nua's maximum HP. It's about, I think it is 320 at this moment. which is not the worst, not the best. Picked up by the tier, well played by the tier. It's unfortunate, but I am back at the base, can get some additional items, it's not the worst thing. I went for Obsidian Shard because it provides you a lot of pen. They have a good amount of tanky characters, the Odin, the Tyr, the Sobek, so that's why I went for that one. And with the Bancroft Talon, when I'm a little bit lower on HP, I'll have more power as well, so that's a good combination in my opinion. They don't have an awful lot of healing, so I don't really need to get a Divine Rune. And I'll go for a Breastplate next. Like, I know what I said, that you will need a good amount of power, but I have a decent amount of power at this moment, so I can kind of afford to get more cooldown reduction in the form of a Breastplate. And if you don't survive to deal your damage, then it's also not very effective. They have 3 physicals, the most damage they do is with their physicals. Odin, a lot of damage, Tyr, a lot of damage, Mercury, especially late game, an insane amount of damage. I do need to be still careful for the Poseidon, but if I don't really get Kraken, I should be fine. I should be completely fine. So, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover about her abilities. Like I said, there is a good amount of kind of combinations you can do with her. The root basic is very potent, especially in certain situations where gods use their escape, or if you just want to root someone in place to get your combination off, your 2 into your 3. Make sure that if you can, leave some minions open. As you can see, rooted the Sobek, nice tail whip. Will not prevent the detonation. I didn't hit my my 3 on him though, so only the detonate damage came out. Nice ult by the Shock. I knew that if I used my Shining Metal, my 3rd ability, on the Poseidon, he would have been low enough for my ultimate to finish it off, because it does a good amount of damage at this moment. In the earlier stage it deals almost 0 damage in my opinion. The ultimate of Nuwa deals about 60 to 100 damage on rank 1, which is not a lot. But if you can get more power, more levels, then she's definitely very powerful. As you saw there, jumping into a minion detonation is insane. If I casted my minions too early though, then the Odin Bird Bomb would probably have finished my minions off, kind of preventing the detonation altogether. So you kind of want to make sure that your minions don't die instantly. Don't use it into an ability that finishes them off immediately, because you can just cast them after the ability has gone off. Nice silence by the Chalk. We might be able to get someone out of this. Sobek is lurking in the water zone. As you can see, insane amount of damage. Using Sanctuary to prevent the damage from the Sobek. We'll make sure that I'll keep myself healthy. And a good amount of body block with the wall. And that will confirm the kill on the Sobek. Nice wall by the Emir, and the body blocks will confirm that kill. And as you can see, minions used as well, engagement on the Phoenix. That's also something that's very potent doing, because the minions will last only for a certain duration or until they die. It is very potent to use them just before your minion wave reaches the Phoenix, or just instead of the minion wave, because that will make sure that the minions, your minions, will get targeted. They don't last forever, so that will make sure that your... Wow, that is the late game Nuwa I was talking about. Insane amount of damage on the Poseidon. But that will make sure that your regular minions will stay safe. Huge CC combo on the Odin. Rooted as well, CC'd as well. Nice. This probably will result in a victory. Ooh, nice Fearless. Actually a split. Nice on that one. I healed the Houyi, but at this point we can just go for the Titan. We'll pick up this victory. Well played by my team, as well as... well, it was a pretty good game. I don't really feel like it was the most one-sided I've ever had. It was not like we won before the 10-minute mark. Definitely, I feel like it was a pretty good game. And kind of showed off how I think Nuwa can be, well, how I play Nuwa and how I think she can be very effective. Like I said, trying to combine your abilities is very important. Getting your clay minions out into the stun. If you confirm those, especially in the later stages, as you saw what happened when I was getting close to the Poseidon. I'm not sure if I was... I think I was pulled by the Sobek. He pulled me into the Poseidon. I was able to use my clay minions, clay soldiers, use my 3, detonated instantly on the Poseidon, used my 1, and he was finished off. So it is an insane amount of damage, especially in the later stages when you have more power. So getting more power on items online is very good as well. Soul Reaver is not too bad on Noir because it also procs on her ultimate. And because she sometimes has difficulties to confirm her entire kit damage, you can really... there aren't a lot of abilities that you can just throw out and accidentally hit someone. Your 3 you have to aim very carefully. The 1 is so slow that you will rarely ever hit someone with them if they're not CC'd or distracted a lot. And your ultimate will guarantee it, but you usually just want to use the Soul Reaver effect with your 2-3 combo for the insane amount of burst. Something that's also very good on Noir is a Polynomicon, because when you root someone you will have, after you use your 2-3 combo, you will have a Polynomicon proc as well, which allows you to deal a lot more burst and able to kill targets off a bit earlier in the game. Also, just building straight up power with Warlock Sash, Book of Thoth, as well as a Rod of Tahuti is very good on her. Getting her full power is very potent, but do be a bit careful with that, because although nobody really wants to get close to a Noir, because she has such a insane amount of burst with her detonate combination, and the fact that clay minions can really body block, she is quite squishy if you don't build her properly or position yourself properly, so that's very important. Luckily enough, this game we had 3 frontliners as well, a Chuck, a Ymir, and then Sylvanas. And the enemies, of course, had 3 frontliners as well. So that was tricky in some situations, especially with the tier. Tier played very well in my opinion. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something about Noir. Maybe you'll be able to play Noir a lot better than I can. I hope so, because I feel like I'm not the greatest Noir player. But I don't mind. You don't need to be good at every single god. That's not a good thing. But knowing every single god will definitely help you out in how to counter her. Kill the minions if you can, burst them instantly. CC the Noir into the ground. A lot of ways to deal with her. She doesn't deal well against a lot of burst mages, because she can't really get close to the most of them, if they can keep her at a distance. Anyway, hope you guys learned something, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, good luck, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one.